Hello everyone. In today's video I'm going to talk about immune system boosters. So these are going to be things that you can do, or in some cases stop doing, in order to help build your immune system naturally. So these are going to be things that they're not going to be expensive or time consuming. They're just little simple hacks that you can do to help your immunity. So the first one is to cut down on alcohol. Of course, this is not going to apply to everyone. If you drink alcohol on a regular basis, which would be at least 2 or 3 times a week, then I would say cutting down to once a week, once every 2 weeks. And also, it really depends on how much you drink. Of course, there's a lot of people out there that mention red wine and how you can have a glass of red wine once in a while. And, I'm not going to judge anybody. I used to be a drinker. I used to be a very heavy drinker. And the kind of drinking that I did, I think is the bad kind. And I was getting sick a lot more often when I used to drink on a regular basis. So cut down. That's all you really need to do. You don't have to completely stop. Another thing on this list is to cut down on tobacco use. Now this one is kind of a little different than the alcohol in that if you completely stop, then that's going to do much better, obviously. But just cutting down is going to be better if you are a heavy smoker. Of course, everybody knows that there's so many bad things that come along with heavy smoking. And I'm not here to tell anyone to stop. I'm just saying that you will probably have a little more trouble with your immune system if you are a regular smoker. Eat more fruits and vegetables. This is probably the #1 thing on this list because fruits and vegetables contain most, if not all, of our recommended daily allowance of vitamins and minerals. And fruits also have the healthy form of sugar. They also have fiber. And you also are getting the polyphenols, which is where the color comes from. So what you really want to do is try to eat things of every color. So you want to eat the rainbow diet. I've actually done a video about this and I talk about this a lot. And it's kind of a fun way to challenge yourself to eat healthier. So getting enough exercise is another crucial one because there's a lot more to your health than just what you put in it. It's also the movement. So there's so many benefits to exercise. It's crucial. It's absolutely crucial for our holistic wellness. It's good for your body, of course. It's also good for your mind. And I believe that exercise is also good for your soul, especially when you do it in certain conditions or certain situations and environments. So definitely make sure that you are at least getting 20 minutes a day of, if you can't do I know how sometimes it's hard for people to schedule working out. And if you don't have a gym membership and you don't have really much at home, really all you can do is stretching, yoga, and maybe going for a walk. So if you can work on just whatever you can do, that's good enough. Stretch, do yoga, go for a walk every day. And that should be enough for most people. At least you don't want to sit. You don't want to be sitting for hours and hours. That's one of the worst things that you can do for your body. The next one is to don't overeat. And this is a pretty easy one, I think. And not just because I don't eat a lot, but if you eat slower, you will actually be more aware of how full you are sooner, because it takes your body around 20 minutes to register that it's full. And that fact blows my mind because I can be done eating a meal in 10 to 15 minutes. So the key here is to either know what your limit is, and that's how I can eat fast, because it's not that I eat fast, but I don't need a lot of time because I don't eat a big meal. I have a smaller portion. So I don't have to worry about overeating because I already know that it's a good amount. But if you're at a family gathering or a party or the holidays are coming up, that's a great time to exercise this this thing to do, because like, you know, here's the thing, what it is. If you overeat, your body is expending way more energy on digestion, and that is why specifically around Thanksgiving time and Christmas time, you'll be eating, you know, turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, who knows what else you have, pie, there's always dessert, you know. Your body is going to be tired, and that is why after Thanksgiving dinner you usually feel like just laying on the couch, and that is a sign. That is your body's sign that it can't provide no more energy for your body to walk around. I mean, you can do it, but you're going to wear yourself out and you are straining your body. So remember to eat slowly and just be mindful of your portion sizes. Relax. This is one of my favorite ones because I think that relaxing is good for all three aspects of you, your body, mind, and soul. And, you know, everybody wants to relax. It's not that people don't want to. I do understand that some people work a couple jobs, have kids, go to school. You know, it's hard. I understand. And so there's a couple tricks to sneak in some ways to relax. I sometimes will go to bed earlier than normal, if I can, and read a book in bed. That's one of my favorite ways to relax. I get all cozy in my blankets, and I have my little nightlight that's orange. It's an amber colored nightlight, so I'm not ruining my circadian rhythm that way. So another thing that I like to do is just sit near a Himalayan salt lamp, and that's such a calming, relaxing thing to have on. In fact, after the sun goes down, I only have amber colored lights or really dim lamps. So if you struggle with sleep, and I'm going to talk about this more in another tip, but if you struggle with sleep, one of the best things you can do is to have amber colored lights after the sun goes down, and that will set you on the path for sleeping. So that's a great way to relax. Improve your spiritual health. So if you have been a follower of this channel for a while, then you know how important I think this is. I think a lot of holistic wellness experts out there, they focus so much on the body-mind connection, which is really great because it's so much more than just your physical, you know, the diet and exercise. It's so much more than that. But I don't think enough people are talking about spiritual wellness along with those. So be sure to include in your day, or at least a couple times a week, some time for you to go within, like do journaling or meditation, contemplation. You know, even if you're not into those things and have trouble with them, or if you don't have time, another great way is to listen to spiritual videos. That's what I do. I have a certain playlist that I save videos to that are spiritually centered videos, and I play them usually in the nighttime, like in the evening, because that, for some reason, I always equate spiritual things with nighttime, probably because the world is calmer and it's much more easier for you to focus on yourself and be mindful and slow down. And when you can do those things, then you are more receptive to learning about spiritual stuff. So that's my favorite time of the night to take in spiritual things, and even reading books. Reading a book before bed that's of a spiritual topic would be another way to do this. Improve your digestive health. So this is something, this is such a big topic, and I'm not going to be able to cover a lot of it, because most of it, because I'm not an expert at a lot of things with the physical body. Like, I'm not a doctor. So I do know that when I listen to these experts talk, they almost always say that your digestive health will determine the health of everything else. it's that important. And even in Ayurveda, they say it's not what you eat, it's what you digest that matters. And so here's what you do. This is why that there's a difference here. It's not just about eating healthy food. It's all about your gut microbiome. If you take antibiotics, then you have destroyed your gut microbiome, and at that point, you're going to need to restore that somehow. Otherwise, there's going to be health issues in the future. So this is why it's important to take probiotics, and a lot of the fermented foods are good for that, like sauerkraut, of course. There's kimchi, there's kefir, which is actually my favorite because it's a drink. It's like a yogurt drink. Greek yogurt is also good for this. There's a lot of fermented foods that you can take, and also, like I said, the probiotics. But just aim to improve your digestive health over anything. That's where you should start. If you have any health issues, I would always start with digestive. So, like I said, I'm not the expert, but I can point you to other experts. If you watch my video that's called Physical Health Experts, I think, I cover people that talk about that in detail. I would always trust the experts over me. I'm just the messenger. So the next one is use herbs and spices. This is one of my favorite ones too, because this is a very simple way to improve your diet. Now this goes into the digestion. There are so many herbs and spices that will help your digestion. And in fact, you can even make a tea out of just a couple herbs and spices that will help. Cumin's really good for that. Fennel is really good for that. So just learn about herbs and spices. I've actually got a blog post and I think I might have another video about this. I'm not sure. But it's such a big world. There's so many herbs and spices. And the thing is, they help your food taste better. And so they're going to help you eat more healthier things. If it weren't for herbs and spices, I probably wouldn't be able to eat vegetables. And you might be the same way. So there are multiple benefits for the body. And, some herbs even have effects on the mind. So they're just great all around. I highly recommend buying the basics. On my website, I have a blog that talks about the herbs and spices, and I go through the basic ones, the common ones, the ones that are easy to find, the ones that are easy to incorporate into your diet, and they also have health benefits, of course. Getting enough quality sleep. This is something that a lot of people struggle with, including myself, and I've got videos and blog posts about this where I give all of my tips. I've got a lot of tips on how to get quality sleep, so I will just keep this short and I will direct you to that video, so be sure to check that out because sleep is so important. It's probably as important as digestion if I had to narrow it down to two things. The next one is vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc. These are going to be your biggest vitamins and minerals for immunity. So you want to be taking all of these every day. And a lot of times your multivitamin is going to have enough of that in there. But if you're older like me, like a lot of women when they go through menopause, they need to supplement more because their bodies are not absorbing the right amount and a lot of things are going wrong. So it's crucial to monitor your levels. Make sure that you're not getting too low of levels of this because these are pretty darn important when it comes to immunity. Drink more fluids. This one should be a no-brainer because everybody knows when you get sick, usually if you have a fever is when you're really going to be dehydrated, and it's so crucial to drink fluids around the clock if you have a fever. But if you're not sick and you're trying to prevent sicknesses, drinking fluids on a regular basis is going to help your immunity. And it's also going to help every system in your body because our bodies are made of mostly water. And there's just no end to the benefits that water will give you. So there are some guidelines as far as how much water you should have. I would not go by how thirsty you are because let me say from personal experience, I hardly ever feel thirsty, but I know that I still need to work on my fluid intake as well. They say about a liter, I think I'm going to get this wrong. I heard somebody say a liter a day. But I know that it's easier to count in glasses. So 8 glasses a day is what they typically recommend. And how big is the glass? Well, that can vary. So I'm not sure if they go by cup. It might be 8 cups a day. But just do more than you're doing now. And especially drink water in the morning. When you first wake up is the best time and the most important time to drink fluids. I've heard so many experts say, put a glass of water by your bed when you first wake up, drink it before you even get out of bed. I need to work on that. I don't have a table next to my bed, so I have nowhere to lay it, but I do drink herbal tea first thing when I get up. And that's like one of my favorite parts of my day, and if I don't do it, I feel like something's wrong. So, and I also drink a cup of tea before bed. However, if you drink right before bed, you'll probably have to wake up to pee. So I would recommend giving yourself about an hour after drinking your nighttime fluids. So that's it for this episode. If you want to listen to more, I have a full podcast episode about all of this where I go further in depth with each of these things. So be sure to watch that if you're interested, and be sure to subscribe. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.